I think your approach is wrong.
Sure, you're older, but I've got more experience and a higher position here. Don't forget that.
But
Just be quiet and just do as you're told.
all right.
I can't believe I made such a mistake. What am I going to do if this keeps up?
Minori, can you check this?
Wait, what is this?
Finally, I can take a lunch break. So, are you getting used to the company? It's been almost 6 months now. I'm managing somehow. I was out for lunch with my coworker, Atsushi Kawakami. My name is Hayato Imai. I joined this company 6 months ago. I had finally had enough of my previous black company and decided to switch jobs in my 30s. Atsushi works in a different department, but we got to know each other during training, and even though he's younger, we've become good friends. He's younger, but I'm the one who's technically been working longer. But since we got along well, we both started talking casually with each other. Still, you guys were arguing again, huh? I wouldn't call it an argument, but yeah, you heard it. Well, it's Minori Ohashi we're talking about. Minori Ohashi. She's my boss in the department I was assigned to, probably in her late 20s. She's highly competent, a beautiful woman who climbed the ranks at an unusual speed and confident to match. However, I've noticed something a bit off, and I can't help but voice my opinions on her decisions, which leads to frequent arguments. Atsushi, she's your classmate, right? Yeah, but I've been completely left behind. Well, she's serious and not a bad person. And she's pretty. As soon as lunch break ended, Minori called out to me.
Hello, do you have a moment?
What is it?
The materials I mentioned this morning, how soon can you have them ready?
Well, I can have them ready by the end of the day.
I see. Got it.
She said that and went back to her desk. She's definitely good at her job, no doubt about that. Well, I guess that's it. While handling other tasks, I managed to finish the materials she asked for 30 minutes before the end of the day. As instructed, I printed them out and handed them to her. Hi, please check the materials.
Thanks. I'll review them by tomorrow morning.
By tomorrow morning, but we're almost at the end of the day.
And?
It's not urgent, so there's no need to stay late for it.
I believe in finishing today what I can do today.
Well, if it can wait until tomorrow, why not handle it tomorrow? I don't think it's good to push yourself too hard.
Here we go again. I don't know how you handled things at your last job, but we have our own way of doing things here. Sure, you're older, but I've got more experience and a higher position. Don't forget that.
What?
Just be quiet and just do as you're told.
All right. I'm sorry for being disrespectful. Please check it over. Minori is good at her job. She has the expectations of the entire company on her shoulders. Maybe that's why she's always the first to arrive at the office and last to leave. Even though she's in a leadership position and could delegate tasks, she tries to handle as much as possible on her own. I've never really liked that about her on her way of doing things. And then, it happened. She made a huge mistake on a major project she was in charge of. Good work today.
Weren't you supposed to have gone home?
I thought so too. I brought you some coffee.
You're here to laugh at me, aren't you? You're thinking, for all the big talk, she made such a huge mistake.
Let's go grab a drink.
What? But I still have work.
You can do it tomorrow. Come on, let's go.
Wait a minute!
Minori made a big mistake. A major contract deal that we were confident about. But during the competition, she failed to fully grasp the client's needs and lost the deal. Everyone probably thought she would clinch it, so the disappointment from her failure was all the greater. Just kidding. If you worry about every little thing, you'll never stop.
I think you've had too much to drink.
You're just not drinking enough, Minori. In times like this, it's best to drink and forget. After all, sales are hit or miss that you can never be sure you'll land them.
Yes, but it's true that I wasn't fully prepared.
That's where you're wrong, Minori. You're trying to carry everything on your own. You've got subordinates like me to help you out, but you're trying to handle everything alone, getting overwhelmed. Of course that's bound to fall apart someday.
But
I used to be like that in my last job too.
really?
I joined right out of college, and while the company itself was pretty toxic, I worked my butt off. I kept pushing myself because I knew a good performance meant a bigger bonus. I worked tons of overtime, gave up my weekends. In the end, I wrecked my body and lost everything.
That's why you ended up here.
Yes, because I needed to work to live. But compared to my last job, this place is a breath of fresh air. I can often leave on time, and it's a lot easier on my mind. Well, you're actually in a better position than I was. Missed out on a big contract. That's still better than wrecking your body. Sure, you'll probably get an earful from the higher-ups. But if you mess up one thing, just make up for it with another. That's what you should focus on now. Staying late and stressing over how you could have done things differently for a project that's already over isn't going to help.
Well,
You're our boss. You need to delegate confidently and let us handle things. Anyways, there it goes. Sent.
wait, an email? Wait, what is this?
I sent her an email I had drafted earlier. It outlined the areas for improvement on the current project, and also included ideas in progress on other ongoing projects in our department. Her eyes widened as she carefully read through the email. It's just my perspective, so feel free to use it as a reference. You don't have to shoulder everything alone. I'm your subordinate, so let me help carry the load too. Let's work together and prove everyone wrong.
Prove them wrong. What's that supposed to mean?
Consider today as something like a kickoff meeting. Let's toast to that.
Thank you, Hayato.
Starting the next day, I worked with Minori to review each of our projects. We assigned the main responsibilities for each project to the team members, freeing her to focus on oversight and support.
Hayato, do you have a moment?
Sure.
It's about this.
And she started consulting me more often.
Thank you.
Whenever I shared my thoughts, she would smile with genuine happiness. It was hard to believe that just a short while ago, things were so tense between us. Though my workload has increased. But, well, her mood has lightened up.
I need your advice on a project. Sure, what's up?
She used to be so on edge, unintentionally pushing people away. But now, her attitude has softened, and she was more approachable. With Minori delegating more of her work, not just me, but the entire team was busier. Yet, everyone seemed more energized than before. You seem pretty busy lately. I used to think you were more laid back before. It's been that way since Minori messed up. But why are you working so hard, Hayato? Well, now that I think about it, it's a bit weird to realize I was projecting my own experiences onto her. I guess I'm a bit concerned about her. Wait, seriously? So keep quiet, alright? Wait, it's already the end of the day. I'm exhausted. For the rest, I'll handle it tomorrow.
Hey, it was very busy today, huh?
Yes, it was. You're already packed up and ready to go? That's unusual.
Well, yeah. If you're done for the day too, would you maybe like to grab a drink with me? Cheers!
Cheers. Minori brought me to this bar, drowned her beer with a satisfied smile. She seemed lighter, as if a weight had been lifted off her shoulders, but still, I never expected her to invite me out for drinks.
It's fine, right? I mean, it's Friday. We can drink without any worries since we have tomorrow off.
Yeah, last time we ended up feeling it the next day.
Well, my mental state was a bit rough, you know. Plus, if I, as the boss, stayed late all the time, it would make it hard for everyone else to leave, right? I know it's a bit late to say this, but I thought I was on top of things at work, but I wasn't really paying attention to what's going on around me.
Well, it's just, I'm honored you would invite me out like this.
What's with that face? You look a bit stunned. What? Is that so surprising? Well, yeah, before, even on Friday, you'd never invite anyone out for drinks. And since we're off the clock, you don't have to use formal language with me. I'm only your boss at the office.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
I'm only a senior in the narrow world of the company. But when it comes to life experience and just being an adult in general, you have more of that than I do.
Ugh, I get it. But can you please stop with the formal speech?
All right, then let's talk like we are friends.
You really do seem like a different person.
Yeah. Before, I couldn't even imagine inviting someone out for drinks like this.
You're right, I never saw this side of you. Have you been like this since you joined the company?
Well,
Minori looked away, a bit embarrassed. I guess she really has been all about work.
when you took me out for drinks the other day, it really helped me unwind. I realized how important it is to just let things out sometimes. So I'd be happy if we could keep doing this every now and then. What do you think?
Of course, I'd be happy to. I was the one who invited you first, and besides, it would be tough if you went back to how you were before.
Really? That's great!
She smiled and visibly relaxed, looking relieved. From there, we spent our time chatting about things unrelated to work. As she had requested, going out for drinks after work became a weekly event for us. And then, after a while, time went by.
Do you think this approach will work about this project?
Let's see. Minori started consulting me often, even during work. She seemed to place a lot of trust in my abilities as a salesperson. Not just for project advice, but even for casual conversation. Lately, it feels like talking itself has become the purpose. Well, her expression was bright and cheerful, so I decided not to worry about it. As we continued, a new, even larger project than the one she had previously failed at landed on our desk.
If we can pull off this project, our reputations will soar even higher.
Honestly, just getting this kind of work shows you're already being recognized more than before. It's true that Minori's reputation took a hit after her previous project failed. Since adopting the current method, the department's results have been improving rapidly. We've achieved enough to more than make up for past failures. So, I think it's only natural this project came our way, and there's no need to push yourself too hard.
You don't get it, do you? I'm talking about the reputation of you and me, Hayato.
Me?
I failed when I went off on my own, but I achieved great results working together with you. If that happens, everyone will see us as the best team. And that way, no one will interfere anymore with comments like things like, "There's quite an age gap, isn't there?" Or, "Isn't he surprisingly dignified when he's quiet?" Or, "Maybe it's time for you to consider an overseas transfer?" I'm so sick of it.
I'm not sure how those things are connected, but okay. By the way, the idea of an overseas assignment isn't a demotion. It's actually a prestigious career path in our company. I'm sure she would have jumped at the opportunity in the past, but now...
Listen, we have to make this project a success. So, I'm counting on you to give it your all.
Understood.
I think we should focus more on this part of the materials.
Actually, after researching our competitors, it seems there's a higher demand in this other area.
I see. That direction could definitely play to our company's strength.
Every day, we stayed late, working on the preparations to ensure the project's success. Even though we were putting in long hours, Minori's demeanor was different from before. She is now cheerful and optimistic. Unlike when she was trying to handle everything on her own, working together with me seemed to give her a sense of growth and accomplishment. As we looked at the computer screen together, I couldn't help but notice how lively and full of energy she seemed, especially when I caught a glimpse of her profile. Moreover...
Cheers!
Cheers! We clinked our beer mugs together at the bar. The project had been a huge success. I'd put in a lot of overtime, but that only made the sense of accomplishment even greater.
Nothing beats a drink after a big job well done.
Absolutely. We've been so busy lately, we haven't had the chance to come out for drinks at all. It's great to be alive.
That's a cute smile. You look like a kid.
Not sure if cute and drinking really go together, though. By the way, about what you mentioned before.
What I mentioned before?
You turned down the overseas assignment, didn't you? It's a great opportunity for promotion, so I thought it was a good offer.
Well, if I took the overseas assignment, I wouldn't be able to work with you, Hayato.
Wait, was it me?
Yeah. Right now, being with you is more important to me than a promotion. Bringing you along for an overseas transfer would be too much to ask, though. But I'm going to make sure everyone knows that this project succeeded because you helped. So, who knows, maybe it could become a reality. But you're not interested in promotions, right?
Well, not really. But that's not the point. You're saying being with me is what's important to you. So what does that mean?
I overheard you when you were talking with Atsushi. Well, you mentioned that you're curious about me.
Wait, what?
So, I decided that when I'd grown enough to be proud of myself, I'd confess my feelings to you. I like you too, Hayato. And not just as a subordinate. I mean as a man.
I was stunned by her confession. What I said to Atsushi at that time was just off-the-cuff nonsense. Or did I really mean it? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I said that because I had her in mind. But we used to argue all the time, and there's a pretty big age gap between us. She's beautiful, and I'd heard there were plenty of colleagues interested in her. I always thought she'd never consider someone like me, so I never realized my own feelings.
So, what's your answer?
What?
It took a lot of courage to confess to you, you know? I was so nervous thinking that maybe your feelings had changed. So...
As I looked at her, her eyes cast down with uncertainty, I felt my heart race. My feelings hadn't changed since then. In fact, working more closely with her and getting to know her better made me realize how much I had grown fond of her, to the point where the thought of her taking that overseas assignment filled me with dread. I like you too, Minori. But are you really okay with someone like me?
Why would that make you nervous?
Well, there's a bit of an age difference, and you're, well, kind of out of my league.
Out of your league? If anything, I was the one feeling anxious. I kept hearing other female employees gossiping about you lately.
They were? Wait, didn't you say something like that when we talked about the overseas transfer?
But if you like me too, then there's no need for either of us to worry anymore, right? So, we are officially a couple, right?
Of course.
Yes. So from now on, we are partners in both work and life.
She said this with a beaming smile, genuinely overjoyed. Her enthusiasm was almost overwhelming. But seeing her so happy made me feel the same. So, how about another toast to celebrate?
Yeah! Cheers!
We clinked our mugs together again, celebrating our new relationship. As we became a couple, our work also continued to thrive. Our partnership became so well regarded that people in the company started saying that there was no deal we couldn't close together. And about a year after we started dating, we got married. I no longer see Minori as someone who just reminds me of my past self. I see her as the most important woman in the world, someone I want to support and cherish for the rest of my life.